Let's be honest, school committee meetings aren't usually described as exciting. But if you dig into the hours of discussion in Gardner, Massachusetts, you find this really fascinating story of success. So, what's their secret? We've gone through all the data to figure out how this public school district is getting such incredible results. Let's take a look at their blueprint.
So here's how we're going to break this down. We're looking at 5 key areas. We'll start with their core philosophy, which they call the Gardner way, and see how that shapes everything, from student well-being to academics, and even getting the community involved. But we also have to look at this big challenge on the horizon that could threaten all this amazing progress.
So, what exactly is the Gardner's Way? Well, it's not just some catchy slogan. It's actually a complete system, and it's the foundation for their entire approach to education.
At the very heart of it is this idea called the multi-tiered system of support, or MTSS. The best way to think about it is like the school's operating system. See, it's not about waiting for a student to fail. For example, Tier 1 support means great teaching for every single kid in the classroom. But if the data shows, say, a small group is struggling with a certain math concept, MTSS means they immediately get a targeted Tier 2 intervention, like small group help. It's all about being proactive, not reactive.
And you know, this isn't just some new initiative that's going to fade away in a year or two. As Principal Earl Martin put it, this philosophy comes right from the top, from Superintendent Dr. Mark Pellegrino. He's made it crystal clear. This is, quote, how we do school. It's a real shift in the entire culture, not just another program, and that's a really important distinction.
Okay, so that's the philosophy, but does it actually make a difference? Well, the first place you see the impact is in the school environment itself, creating a place where kids feel safe, they feel supported, and they're actually ready to learn.
And we're not just talking about creating a nice atmosphere here. The district is tracking this stuff meticulously, and the data is showing clear, measurable improvements in student well-being, all the way from elementary to high school. Now this right here, this shows you the power of their strategy, prevention. By really investing in that universal Tier 1 support for everybody, Gardner High School has seen a huge drop in the number of students who need more intensive help. It went from 22% of students down to just 15% in one single year. That's a big deal.
And this positive trend isn't just at the high school. It's happening in the middle school too. They've seen a 15 percentage point drop in the number of students getting 6 or more discipline referrals. That's a huge sign that this proactive support is creating a much more stable, positive learning environment for everyone.
And here, this might be the most powerful result of all. This is the real outcome of that supportive environment. When they asked the youngest kids, the elementary students, if at least 3 adults in their school care about them, an incredible 96.7% said yes. That foundation of care, right there, is what all the academic success is built on.
Okay, so a positive school environment is absolutely crucial. But at the end of the day, it's a means to an end, right? The goal is academic achievement. And guess what? Gardner applies the exact same data-driven, systematic approach here.
At the elementary level, their mission is incredibly clear. They are, to use their own word, hyper-focused on literacy. They know it's the single most important skill for all future learning.
And the elementary principal, Earl Martin, he did not mince words about why this is so important. He pointed to the research showing that if a kid isn't reading on grade level by the end of 2nd grade, it can affect their entire life. We're not just talking about report cards, we're talking about setting kids up for success, period.
So, is all this focus actually working? Well, the numbers say yes. At the start of the year, 32% of students were way below grade level in reading. By the middle of the year, that number had dropped significantly. And what's really important is that they're making real progress in closing that achievement gap for students with disabilities. They're not there yet, but the trend is absolutely heading in the right direction.
Now, this focus on preparing students for the future, it's really clear at the high school too. They've totally moved away from a one-size-fits-all model. Instead, they're offering multiple, very different pathways to success after graduation.
And this is about so much more than just getting kids into a 4-year college. Of course, they have a great early college program, but they also have a strong partnership for vocational training and skilled trades, plus dedicated automotive and manufacturing classes. The goal is to prepare every student for success, whatever path they choose.
And get this isn't some niche program for just a few students. A whopping 55% of all high school seniors are enrolled in one of these advanced pathways. It's become a core part of what it means to go to Gardner High.
The last major piece of Gardner's success puzzle comes down to a really simple but powerful idea. Schools can't do it alone. The district has made this very deliberate, focused effort to bring families in as real partners in their kids' education.
One of the ways they measure this is by tracking who participates in their family climate survey. Gardner set a goal to boost participation by 25%. And as you can see, they didn't just meet that goal, they completely blew it out of the water. It's such a clear sign that what they're doing to reach out is really working. And they're doing it with real, concrete actions. Things like inviting parents to monthly assemblies, hosting big grade-level events, and even creating a parent input council where they look at survey data together. This isn't just about sending a newsletter home. It's about creating a genuine partnership. So, the picture we've painted is pretty clear, right? A data-driven system for support, strong community partnerships, it's all leading to really impressive results. But this whole success story is now facing a massive threat that could unravel all of this hard work. The district is staring down a projected $2 million budget deficit for the next school year. That's a huge gap between what they need to keep these programs running and the funding they actually expect to get. And you know, this isn't because of some mismanagement or bad planning. It's basically a perfect storm of things they can't control. More students are coming into the district, and more of them have high needs. Health insurance costs are spiking, and the funding they get from the state just isn't keeping up with how much everything costs. And that brings us to the really tough central question of this whole story. After building this incredibly successful data-driven model that's clearly working for kids, how can a district possibly keep that success going when its financial foundation is about to be pulled out from under it? It's a huge challenge, and it's one that Gardner, and honestly a lot of other districts, are facing right now.